Traveling on the M16 in the UK draws a spectacle of the divergent roads and goals staging a nation of differences. Today, our destination is Solihull, on the southeastern bounds of the West Midlands, where we are journeying to ask a simple question. How do people in this land of diversity understand and express national belonging? Depicts the changing outlook of British townships. Our research before the trip indicated how the English Defence League organized a demonstration in Solihull against the proposed building of a Muslim cemetery on the 18th of April 2015. The proposed EDL demonstration against the building of a cemetery faintly maps a conservative strain further affirmed by the town's recent switch from Labour as they return to conservative ways in the parliamentary elections this month. We were thus hoping to encounter a certain engagement of diversity in the town. Yet for this resident, the diversity is not really evident.
It's not really a diverse area as such, but then the surrounding areas, there is a lot of diversity that comes into Solihull. I mean, if you go around colleges and things like that, I mean, there are people from everywhere.
Solihull is slightly middle class and white as Britons continue a mass exodus from inner city areas to suburban regions.
Yes, well, it's very much a residential area for people who work in Birmingham. And quite a lot of people who live here now commute to London from the railway station here, particularly since the service has got better.
Besides its white middle-class population, Solihull also has a significant population of other ethnicities who both identify with Britishness as well as their cultural backgrounds. Yet how does a residential town like Solihull symbolize the changing face of Britain? Professor Giles Dyer Jeats is Scottish. A retired doctor who lives in Solihull, Professor Jeats mirrors the professional, middle-class and elderly demographic of the town. Yet it might be easy for him to negotiate a Scottish identity in the United Kingdom, but the question of Britishness, national identity and citizenship is still complex for a number of reasons that include the diversity of whites, besides ethnic groups from Africa and Asia. We meet Solihull residents Kisa, Faizan and Bahasi enjoying the sun after an English breakfast. With an Indian ethnicity they acknowledge and identify with, all three were born and raised in the UK and have British citizenship. Besides identifying with Britishness in what they saw as a culture of shared values, the three friends also believe in the multicultural pluralism of citizenship that includes and recognizes ethnicity.
I'm Indian. I think my traditions are sort of like fading and I'm sort of becoming more British. I come from a good family and like they sort of tell me to like be open and stuff, so I think that's a really important thing as well. I think people should change as well as they sort of live in different countries.
Yeah, you don't want them to feel like outside, you still want them to be integrated with the community and things like that. But I think you don't want them to forget where they came from.
Yeah, I think it's good just to keep your traditions and you should know, everyone should know where their background and where they come from. That's a very important thing as growing up. Yeah. Otherwise you're sort of lost.
Yeah.
These circumstances shaping a town like Solihull credit Hussein and Baguli's suggestion that Britons of other foreign ethnicity express citizenship through an incorporation of their particular cultural, religious or ethnic backgrounds within broader British culture. Britain itself is made up of a diversity that stretches from Scotland to Wales. Britain today is even more multicultural as it includes Muslims, Asians, Africans and white migrants from Europe who are part of a broader British society demanding a recognizable identity. The idea of Britishness and belonging is therefore imprecise and transitory for some people like this guy, who perceives it as a contradiction.
What is true Britishness? It makes me laugh actually, because if you go back in time and history, the English language is a fantastic example. It's made up of Arabic, German, Latin, bit of Greek, you name it. Everybody in this country came from Vikings, from Nordics, you name it, all sorts. And you sort of say, well, hang on, who are the real immigrants in this country? There's no such thing as an English person or a British person. You came from all over the world to make this nation. Okay?
The idea of Britishness is consequently ephemeral and might sometimes be historically placed and simultaneously challenged by its indistinct features, which favor a definition of shared values, ethics, and cultures rather than a unique national identity.
The reality is, and strange as it may sound, there's only one race on this planet, the human race. Forget color, that's irrelevant. We are a human race, all right? Borders and nationhood doesn't matter in the end of the day. However, that diversity should be embraced. We're all different, we all have something to add to the pot to build up humanity if we take advantage of the opportunity and not get blinkered and say, well, my nation is better than your nation. And again, that's exaggerated through sports and et cetera, a little bit of fun maybe, but we're all one race with one blood. We all feel the same sun, the same moon, the same stars. We rotate on the same globe in our solar system. And when you think about that, all our differences count for nothing.
Ethnic identities are hence still indecisive, with many people identifying with Britishness as well as being part of their ethnic background. Britishness is therefore hybridized for most people we interviewed in Solihull. Trapped in a class factor, one perceives how Britishness and thus citizenship is conservative in a manner that emphasizes national identity and vastly minimizes ethnic relevance.